This is Miscanthus sinensis, morning light. Japanese silvergrass, has a lot of other common names, but it is morning light and it's a variegated miscanthus. It's also narrower than straight sinensis. One of the things I like about it in design is that it's only 3 to 4 feet wide at its base generally, and at its top, as you can see here, this is probably 5 to 6 feet wide, but that's while it's blooming and it's starting to open up. You'll see it's kind of vase shaped. And here's a mass planting in Vancouver, Canada at Van Dusen Botanical Gardens, and really love this planting. A great design with grasses in general. And this is a nice way, well, here's why I took this shot, is the way it moves in the wind. And a lot of the grasses are nice that way, but this has a very fine texture. And that combined with the way it receives the light are my two favorite features about this particular plant. Size, let me talk about that. It's listed at 4 to 6 feet. Now these are 6 to 7 feet tall without any flowers on them. They're just starting to set flowers. These are fairly late in the season. Usually I would say September, October. I'm starting to see a few in September, but really it's more like October. The flower color is kind of a pinkish red color, and we'll show you that shot again. But what can happen, these are known for not flopping open, which some grasses do, but when they bloom they can do that more, and you'll notice that both of the shots I'm going to show you, while it's blooming, the plant is starting to open up a little, so the weight of those flowers can cause the opening up. So here's why most designers like this, and this is considered one of the more popular varieties of Miscanthus sinensis, and it's because the blade is very thin on the leaves, and also it has a white stripe up the middle. So the combination gives it a very airy, nice effect. What else can I say? And also in mass, because of the white in there, it gives it a lightness that's nice to contrast against other greens as well. I use this as singles typically. This is done in a mass, and if you've got the space and the effect where that's the right thing to do, here's a look at what that can look like. But generally in design, I use it more as a single punctuation. And also, I designed to where, and this is unique to our California situation, I'm in Northern California, but I also don't like to use large groupings of deciduous plants that don't look good in the winter. Now, what people recommend is that you leave these over the winter, and just in late winter, when the danger of frost is gone, that's when you cut them back. I cut mine back to about 12 to 18 inches above the ground, and that's right when new growth starts to poke out, generally in our area around March or so. And I've had my best results pruning them at that time and in that way. If the seed heads look messy and you want to get rid of them, I'd say you can go ahead and remove those earlier than that, but they're actually pretty attractive. Now, I show that picture right there because I found that in clay soil, heavy clay soil, you will get a smaller plant. The compaction and the restriction of root growth tends to stunt the plant, and I've seen these stay 3 to 4 feet tall for years. And I would tell you it's because of very compacted soil. These don't like a lot of wet, they don't like their feet wet over long periods, so clay isn't the best place to put them, but that said, that's most of what I have where I'm at, and we use them all the time with no problems. These are hardy to around minus 50 degrees Fahrenheit. They like full sun, although you can use them in part shade. They like medium water, I'd say. I don't consider them drought tolerant. I've seen the foliage burn when you do that. That said, I think you can use them coastally and go with lower water. And the comment I made about clay soil, I would also say that's low water clay soil. Most of my experience has been through a drought, and we kept them in lower water, and the lower water in clay soil really constricts the roots, so that's probably what stunts them the way I described. Really nice perennial grass, probably the favorite Miscanthus sinensis out there, and you can see why. It's very graceful, great in areas where wind and where you can appreciate the grace of the plant as well as the movement of the plant. And that's what I can tell you about Miscanthus sinensis morning light. Enjoy.